Good morning. I think perhaps we've lost Thina, who is our service coordinator, so I'll step in for a moment. My name is the Reverend Denise Couch, and my pronouns are she, hers, and I am so happy to welcome you this morning to this service on this beautiful, very rainy morning here in Nashville. We've had all sorts of weather within the last 7 days, but wherever you are, we are glad you're here, and we're glad to see a few people in the sanctuary this morning as well. In today's service, our guest speaker, Jennifer Hundley Batts Thomas, will encourage us to move with intention into the new year. Jesse, Karen, and Steve are providing technical support, and Denise, not me, but the first Denise, will be here to light the candles while Wayne leads us in lighting and extinguishing our chalice. So Wayne, would you like now to read our chalice words, please?
Our chalice lighting was written by Lois Van Leer. We light this chalice on the brink of a new year, letting go of what has been, open and hopeful for what may come, renewed, restored, ready to live life fully anew. May we move forward with intention.
Well, the tech gods have gotten us all scrambled up today.
Back, Denise. Sorry about that.
Tina is back. I will hand you over now to her capable hands.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. Our covenant brings to mind the warmth, wisdom, and truth of our congregation. Please join me in reading if you are so moved. We covenant together to make a welcoming community, to walk together in the way of truth and love, to seek the life of the Spirit as it is known by each person, to support each other in thought, word, and deed as we work to build a better world. We have a number of birthdays to celebrate this month. Let's all join the BBC Symphony Orchestra in wishing a happy birthday month to Jennifer, Ann, Susan, David, Elizabeth, and Karen. That was awesome. I hope we get to do that one again in June when it's my birthday. Our story today is entitled, What Do You Do with an Idea? By Kobe Yamada and illustrated by May Bessam.
What do you do with an idea? Written by Kobe Yamada, illustrated by May Bessam. One day, I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered. What do you do with an idea? At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. But it followed me. I worried what others would think. What would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly, and many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never become anything. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do. And it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. My idea grew, and so did my love for it. I built it a new house, one with an open roof where it could look up at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big, and then to think bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands because, it said, it is good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. Then, one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now a part of everything. And then I realized what you do with an idea. You change the world.
So at this point, I'd like to invite the youth to go over to their activities with Susan Dreamer.
Thank you for your loving hand, your loving heart, your loving ways. Thank you for the gifts you bring into the world each day. And if you ever doubt yourself, remember us who love you well. We know all the gifts you bring into the world each day. So thank you for your loving hand, your loving heart, your loving ways. Thank you for the gifts you bring into the world each day.
Imagine waking up to that every day. Wouldn't that be awesome? All that happens. Our Share the Plate partner for January is Walden's Puddle, Wildlife Center of Greater Nashville. Walden's Puddle is a professionally staffed wildlife rehabilitation facility in Middle Tennessee. The center does not charge for services and receives no federal or state funding for the care and treatment provided to the injured, sick, orphan animals brought to Walden's Puddle by individuals in the Nashville community and released back into the wild once they recovered or matured, are capable of caring for themselves. The only center of its type in Middle Tennessee, Walden's Puddle is a hands-on environmental and conservation organization, serving over 3,500 members and over 100 species each year, plus providing unique educational and training opportunities to local students of biology, environmental studies, and veterinary medicine. Walden's Puddle has been rehabilitating wildlife since 1989, and the need for its services has never been greater, as commercial and residential development increasingly encroaches on wild animals' natural habitats. Over 92% of every dollar donated to Walden's Puddle is spent directly on animal care. Please give generously in this month to share the plate with Walden's Puddle. You can donate online via text or by check by following the instructions listed on the screen. As always, we appreciate your generosity. Today's first hymn is number 318, We Would Be One, performed, I don't know who it was performed by, I am so sorry. Please sing along, or if you are in the sanctuary, hum along as you are so moved.
We would be one, as now we join in singing our hymn of love, to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
We're so lucky for all the talented people who put our hymnal up on YouTube. Our guest speaker today is Jennifer Hundley Batts Thomas, a member of the UU Church of Bowling Green, Kentucky for 20 years and a candidate for the Unitarian Universalist Ministry. Jennifer is a part-time chaplain with a full-time heart for that ministry. She also teaches special education at a middle school in Kentucky and divides her time between her home in Bowling Green and her family farm in Stanley, Kentucky. We are grateful she carved out time to join us for worship this morning. Before we hear from Jennifer, I invite you to join me in a time of meditation, beginning with a classic 19th century Unitarian writing from William Henry Channing, followed by a 20th century composition based on an old, well-known Shaker hymn. First, from William Henry Channing. To live content with small means, to seek elegance rather than luxury, and refinement rather than fashion, to be worthy, not respectable, and wealthy, not rich, to study hard, think quietly, talk gently, act frankly, to listen to stars and birds, to babies and sages with open heart, to bear all cheerfully, do all bravely, await occasions, never hurry, to let the spiritual, unbidden, and unconscious grow up through the common. This is to be my symphony.
Kentucky author and treasurer Silas House offers a prayer for the new year. I have adapted it just a bit for us this morning. And it begins, this year especially, find a body of water and be still beside it for a time. Build a fire and watch the flames. Sit on the porch, lie in the grass, light candles, take a deep breath, write a letter to someone. Discover something new every day. learn, tell stories, listen to old people and ask them questions. Do something nice for others when you can, and treat yourselves occasionally. Read actual, real books and newspapers. Buy grocery store flowers. Spend an entire day without looking at your phone. If you feel the urge to post a selfie every day, take a picture of some other beautiful thing instead. Remember that there is power in moderation. Learn to cook or bake something new. Enjoy every meal and savor your food. Drink water. Anytime the opportunity arises, dance. Always swim or wade in the water and study the leaves. Be completely quiet. Turn your favorite song up as loud as it will go and sing. Laugh with others. Laugh while you're alone. Spend time with animals. They make us better people. Don't judge. Think this: there, but for the grace of God go I. Or everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Forgive others. Forgive yourself. Silas House crafts these words as a prayer to start the new year with intention and purpose. I much prefer this type of prayer to begin a new year over making a New Year's resolution. The idea of picking up a new healthy thought or behavior appeals to me, but the flurry of everyone feeling like they need to do this around the 1st of January every year just feels contrived. You know what else makes me feel a little icky and sad this time of year? All those end of the year lists. There's a top 10 this and the best 5 that. When I hear them, I can't help but think back on my own year, and that's not always something I want to do. A year is a long time, and while it can contain lots of joy and plenty of ordinary days, it also usually has a heartbreak or two. It kind of breaks my heart every year when NPR does that end of the year music compilation where they play snippets of music by artists who have died during the year. I mean, my gosh, I've barely dragged myself through Christmas, which is no longer a favorite holiday now that my kids are grown and busy. The holiday magic is less magical now. NPR is one of my constants. It's a comfort, really. But then they go on New Year's Eve every year and play that very long musical bit. At the end of 2020, it was Nashville's and my beloved John Prine that really got me. This year, well, I can't tell you all the musicians we lost this year because my heart just couldn't take the knowing. But that's the wrap up at the end of the year, and one day can make all the difference. January 1st comes next, and it starts a new calendar year. It can signify a fresh start, a new you, but making some public or even private commitment to do or not to do something just because it's January 1st has never felt quite right. Personally, I prefer to think in those terms when the green of spring is around us, or after I've had a period of feeling lost and I need to find my way again, when I've messed up and I want to get back on track, or when I've picked up some unhealthy habits and I want to stop them and start feeling better. But this is the start of a new year, and that is a time, like it or not, when we tend to focus our intentions for the coming months. My son introduced me to a book of 300 writing prompts. I like to open it up to a random page and write about the prompt that chance places before me. Last week, it was break your life up into chapters and give each one a name. What would you call the first part of your life? What would the name of the chapter be for the now of your life? What would you call the part that is yet to come? That writing prompt got me thinking, as it was supposed to do. It helped me consider what I might want to do differently this time around in this new year. The first part of my life, my start, would be about a solid childhood, a loving family, a good education, plenty of room to roam and get in just enough trouble. The next part, I think I'd call growing up. My childhood was a really good one, but the growing up happened next. I went to college, married, raised my children, faced lots of health issues with my parents, went to seminary, lost my dad, and learned to live in a pandemic. Those last two big events happened just before I worshiped with you last in March of 2020. Losing a parent and then having the whole world shut down can really lead a person to turn inward. Early in the pandemic, I heard someone say that crises and trauma are accelerators. They help you strip away all the unimportant things and remind you that you are hurling through time toward the future. I'm approaching 50, so couple that with all of the crises and trauma of the past 2 years, and it's understandable that I'm trying to be more intentional with my energy and my time and my life. Last year, I read the book Some 40 Tales from the Afterlives by David Eagleman. The title is spelled Sum, S-U-M, as in the sum of one's experiences. The first of the 40 tales is the title piece, Some, and it's about an afterlife dreamt up by the author, who is also a neuroscientist. In this first of 40 tales, the author tells us, in the afterlife, you relive all your experiences, but this time with the events reshuffled into a new order. All the moments that share a quality are grouped together. He goes on to write, you spend 2 months driving the street in front of your house. You sleep for 30 years without opening your eyes. 15 months looking for lost items. 18 months waiting in line. 2 years of boredom, staring out a bus window, waiting for a terminal. 3 weeks realizing you are wrong. 6 weeks waiting for a green light. 14 minutes experiencing pure joy. So you get the idea. Thinking about the moment when you've run out of time, these afterlives, can really nudge you toward reflecting on how you want to spend your time now. If you were to reshuffle your life into this new order, what would that say about you? Would it reflect what your beliefs are, your values, what you hope your life is about? What might help us more closely align our values with our time and our energy? So we're going to try now an activity that I think would have worked beautifully had we all been together in the same space today. Like so many things during the past 2 years, we're going to have to pivot and adapt the best we can. This is a ritual that was introduced to me by my friend Joan Martin, and I've since seen it practiced in small groups and congregations who sometimes call it star words. The term is inspired by Epiphany, the time when we remember the Magi following a star to deliver their gifts to Jesus. You'll be offered a series of words, and I want you to hold on to just one of them. Think about a word choosing you more than you're choosing it. Sometimes what we need finds us rather than the other way around. Let this word remain with you throughout the year and let it guide you as you make sense of all this new year will hold for us. If we'd been able to be together in person, I would have had you select a slip of paper on which would be written your star word. And in this way, the word would choose you, which for me adds to its impact through the year. Rather than trusting that we know best what we need, we leave a little room for mystery. But here we are, and so we'll have to do our best. As we prepare to receive the word that will accompany us this year, I'll offer an adaptation of a prayer by Michelle Thomas Bush. We acknowledge that we are not always ready to receive the gifts offered to us. We will soon be given an epiphany word, a star word, in hopes that its lessons will lead us to deeper understanding throughout the coming year. It is often our habit to turn aside, stumble over, or even reject experiences and encounters that we later understand to have been precious gifts. May we be open to the gift we are now offered through our star words. We acknowledge that we do not fully understand what this word might mean for our lives, but we receive it with gratitude and pray that the wisdom we encounter as we hold this word close will enable us to live into our word with intention and faithfulness. Amen. As you listen to this list, I want you to choose a word or let it choose you and carry it with you. Hold it dear, let it guide you and teach you. Abundance, acceptance, amazement, balance, brightness, communion, constancy, depth, discovery, embrace, endurance, focus, foundation, gladness, healing, mercy, openness, prepare, release, surrender, vitality, worth. Hopefully now you have your word and you may want to write it down or record it in some way. When the service is over, put it in a prominent place in your home. Write it on a Post-it note and affix it to your bathroom mirror, or make art with it. Find its letters in a magazine or a newspaper and cut them out. Frame it, paint it, write it on a smooth stone and carry it in your pocket. But keep it in your heart, in your mind, and see what lessons it holds for you, what guidance and wisdom it can offer. May we be open to what this new year holds for us. May we have the resources and support we need for the hard times to come. And may we be open to and recognize the blessings the new year will bring. I wish for us all the ability to let our star words invite us to the places where we will learn and grow, and where we will meet challenge and comfort. Going to end this sermon with a gift from one of my favorite poets, Jan Richardson. The map you make yourself is a beautiful star word meditation. You have looked at so many doors with longing, wondering if your life lay on the other side. For today, choose the door that opens to the inside. Travel the most ancient way of all, the path that leads you to the center of your life. No map but the one you make yourself. No provision but what you already carry, and the grace that comes to those who walk the pilgrim's way. Speak this blessing as you set out and watch how your rhythm slows. The cadence of the road drawing you into the place that is your own. Eat when hungry, rest when tired. Listen to your dreaming and welcome detours as doors deeper in. Pray for protection, ask for the guidance you need, and offer gladness for the gifts that come, and then let them go. Do not expect to return by the same road. Home is always by another way. And you will know it not by the light that waits for you, but by the star that blazes inside you, telling you where you are is holy and that you are welcome here.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was, I loved it. Let's just put it that way. I loved it. One of the ideas I really enjoyed was the idea of entitling parts of your life and figuring out how to name that unknown future. And I also want to thank you for reminding us to live intentionally. Our next hymn is number 1020, Woyaya, led for us by Mark Vogel. Please join in humming in the sanctuary or singing wherever you are joining virtually.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be mighty and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah, 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 oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love that song. I feel like we struggle to sing it as a congregation, but when it comes together, it's really beautiful. I don't know if y'all noticed some of his instruments. He was playing glass with a spoon, and my very favorite instrument was the scissors. I love that, making music however you can, wherever you are. We've come to our time of joys and concerns. For those of you joining us on YouTube, thank you. We'll see you next week. Jesse, if you could please